Okay, so let's talk about something that's absolutely critical for bone recovery, but, it gets overlooked all the time. It's kind of like a secret ingredient.
So, have you ever broken a bone? Yeah, it's a drag, right? The recovery just seems to go on forever. But what if I told you that for a ton of people, a hidden factor is making it even longer, like secretly sabotaging the whole healing process? It's not a small thing either. We're talking weeks, maybe even months added to your recovery, and it's happening to way more people than you'd think.
50 to 80%. Just let that sink in for a second. That's not a typo. That's how many people who show up with a broken bone are also walking around with seriously low vitamin D levels. It's this huge, invisible problem that's messing with their ability to heal.
All right, so to get our heads around this, we're going to break it down into 5 parts. We'll start with this hidden foe, look at the biology, check the data, and then get into the actual recovery playbook.
Okay, first up, a fracture's hidden foe. Let's dig into just how widespread this problem really is. And this is the crazy part. Why getting hurt actually makes it worse.
This is the real kicker. Your body, in its effort to heal the fracture, literally starts gobbling up vitamin D. So think about it. If your tank was already half empty, the injury itself just drains it even faster. It's like a cruel joke, right? The healing process actually makes the deficiency worse. So, when you get a blood test, these are the levels your doctor is looking for. Anything below 20 is deficient, and between 20 and 30 is insufficient. And guess what? Most fracture patients, they land right in those bottom 2 buckets. The magic number, the place you want to be, is sufficient, over 30.
So why do we call it the master regulator? What does it actually do? Well, let's dive into the biology of it all, the bone healing blueprint.
Okay, so here's the thing. We call it a vitamin, but honestly, that's kind of underselling it. It really acts more like a hormone, a powerful one. Its main gig, it's the boss of calcium and phosphate. The literal building blocks of your bones. Without vitamin D in charge, your body just can't get a hold of those materials. And this is a great visual of that whole process. You see, when you get vitamin D from the sun or from food, it's not quite ready for prime time. It has to go on this little journey, first to the liver, then to the kidneys to get activated. Only then can it actually get to work building bone.
All right, healing a fracture isn't like flipping a switch. It's a whole construction project with 4 distinct phases. You've got the initial inflammation, then the body builds this soft, temporary scaffold. After that, it hardens up into a callus. And finally, there's this long remodeling phase where it gets shaped back into strong, solid bone.
And guess who's the foreman on this job site? Yup, vitamin D. It's not just there at the end for the ribbon cutting. It's involved in every single stage. It's there right at the beginning, managing the inflammation, helping build the cartilage, making sure calcium is available for the hard callus. It's running the whole show.
So the biology all lines up, right? But that's the theory. What about the proof? Let's look at the actual data from clinical studies.
I mean, look at this quote. It couldn't be clearer. Study after study shows that your vitamin D level is a direct predictor of how fast you're going to heal. It really is that simple. The higher your levels, the shorter your recovery time.
And we are not talking about a small difference here. It's huge. This chart from a study on kids with leg fractures is just staggering. With normal vitamin D, healing took about 39 days. With low vitamin D, 95 days. That's more than double the time. That's almost 2 extra months of being laid up, just because of one vitamin.
So the bottom line is, this isn't just a fluke. It's a strong negative correlation. Think of it like a seesaw. When vitamin D levels go up, healing time goes down. It's a consistent, predictable relationship that's been proven again and again.
Now, this is a super important point to get right. We know for a fact, the science is clear, that having low vitamin D is bad for healing. What researchers are still figuring out is if giving extra vitamin D to someone who already has enough will make them heal even faster. But for now, the no-brainer, the absolute first step, is to find people who are deficient and get their levels back up to normal.
Okay, so what do we do about it? What's the actual game plan? Well, here's the playbook that clinicians are starting to adopt.
This pretty much lays it all out. First, you screen to see where they're at. If they're low, you don't just give them a standard daily supplement, you go big with what's called a loading dose, a huge amount, usually weekly, to fill the tank up fast. Once their levels are good, then you switch to a smaller daily dose to keep it there. And of course, you have to pair it with calcium. That's non-negotiable.
And the whole idea behind that big loading dose is speed. The early stages of healing are happening right now. You can't wait. A normal little daily pill could take months to fix a real deficiency.
The loading dose is like an emergency resupply. It gets your body what it needs right when it needs it the most.
All right, last piece of the puzzle here. We have to remember that vitamin D isn't working alone. It's part of a team.
And it's a really synergistic team. You've got calcium, which is the raw material, the actual bricks. Then you have vitamin D, which we've talked about. It's the one that gets the calcium absorbed from your food into your body. But then there's vitamin K2, another key player. It's like the traffic cop that directs the calcium to go into your bones and not, somewhere else you don't want it. And there's another huge benefit that often gets missed. Vitamin D is also critical for your muscles. And when you're recovering from a fracture, strong muscles are everything. Right? They help with your rehab, they protect the bone while it's healing, and maybe most important of all, they help prevent you from falling and starting this whole process over again.
Okay, so let's just wrap this all up. If you remember 4 things, make it these. 1. Most fracture patients are low on vitamin D. 2. This directly makes healing take longer. 3. The injury itself burns through your vitamin D stores. And 4. The good news is, we know how to fix it.
So it all comes down to this, really. Your body is trying to do this incredible job of rebuilding a broken bone. The question is, are you actually giving it all the tools it needs to get the job done right? It's something to think about, and definitely something worth talking to your doctor about.
Today, we're digging into vitamin D's hidden role in how quickly and how well you heal from a broken bone. After a fracture, everyone wants to know, how can I speed this up? Well, the answer might be hiding in plain sight, and it has everything to do with the sunshine nutrient. Get this, between 50 and 80% of fracture patients actually have low levels of vitamin D. See, it's not just a vitamin, it's more like a hormone that's mission control for your body's calcium. And here's how it works. Sunlight and food get converted into the active hormone that manages your bones. Vitamin D is vital in every single stage, but especially when it's time to make that new bone strong. Okay, but what's the real-world impact? How much does it actually change your recovery time? Well, a major study compared healing times based on vitamin D levels. The data is pretty compelling. Basically, people with enough vitamin D healed about 3 weeks faster than those who were deficient. That's huge. So it's not a coincidence. There's a really strong statistically significant link here. Which leads to the obvious next question, right? Can we just supplement our way to a faster recovery? It's complicated. While low levels are clearly bad, just taking more pills shows pretty mixed results in studies. And why the mixed bag? Well, it depends on the fracture, the person, and even the study itself. So what's the takeaway? The main goal is simply to avoid being deficient in the first place. This quote from a key study says it all. It's about letting your body do its job properly. So you have to wonder, couldn't a simple blood test be a major key to your recovery?